Hello and welcome back to another video by me, Bloot084 Art and Games, and we're back again with some more polymer clay, which I've been looking forward to getting around to doing. It has been a bit too hot to actually get and do some polymer clay because, you know, the clay gets quite warm on my hands and it's been quite tacky and it just was melting in my hands when I was working with it. I have managed to make a few things. This one here, if you know this one, let me know in the comments. You should know that one, but if you don't, let me know. That one is a magnet. And that one's going to be, I'm going to be making a painting video out of these and just sort of showing you how to use different techniques, but that is in a later video. So don't forget to hit that subscribe, ding the bell for notifications so you know when that video is going to be coming up. Otherwise, this video is going to be a dedication to one of the old fartists. As you know, I've done a few different videos on their challenges on Fridays, but there's one artist or fartist that is part of the team, and he doesn't really draw. He's kind of learning how to do his own sort of style or his own kind of like artworks. But he doesn't really draw. But I did say to him that I would do a video for him, as he doesn't host any of the challenges on the Friday. Again, if you want to join in, it is on the old fartist. There's Ace, there is Dan, Dan there, it's on timelapse dad, and also there is for illustration. You would have seen a couple of videos by me joining in on his competitions. He does one generally every month, and it ends for the whole month. He'll sort of thing. One has just ended. If you want to go and check that video out, guys, go over to the previous videos. There's one done digital and there's one done traditional. But we're on the polymer clay today. I won't miss anybody. Oh yeah, Demo is the one that we're going to be doing the video for today. We're going to be using polymer clay. The polymer clay that I'm going to be using is Fimo, and we're going to be making a gizmoduck from DuckTales. If you don't know the reference, I'll put, hopefully I would have put something up here so you can get a little reference from it. I'm not going to be showing too much because it is owned by Disney and I'll get extreme copyright and I'll probably get the video taken down. So I can make the thing, I just can't show you that many references. If you do want to check out the references, I have put a few up on my TikTok. There is my TikTok there. And that's what we're going to be doing. But without further ado, let's turn the camera down and get a go. Okay, so here's the materials that I'm going to be using. The clay, once again, that I'm using is Fimo, not sponsored by them, but I definitely recommend this brand if you are a beginner at polymer clay, because it's one of the cheaper end of the brands that you can get, but it's just as good as any other brand that I have used. Some people use Super Sculpey. I always use Fimo. You can get it in firm, you can get it in soft. I would recommend the soft stuff because it's a lot easier to work with, but it's not easy to work with in the heat because it gets a bit too flexible and you can't really do much with it. But I did have, like I said, I did have a try with a couple of these. There's my other things. But the stuff that we're going to be using is that there. We're also going to be needing a little bit of wire to sort of create some arms for it. And we're also going to be using some magnets. I've got a few left over from the previous project. If you're interested in what I have made, again, go to the Creation Station playlist, where you can find all of the creations that I've made. But if you're interested in the story that I've made and the other things that I've made that are buildable, which is what this is going to be, you can go into the Freeing Bloot angle and finding some creations in there. This one is, like I said, going to be buildable. Going to be using different magnets. I might use these ones for the arms. I might use this ones. But I'm going to be making it buildable. We're going to have two arms that are going to connect. Going to have the main part is going to be the body, which I'm going to be encasing that with metal because, you know, magnets and metal. We're going to be. I'll show you how to sort of get a piece off because, oh god, that was a pain in the ass just to do that. But going to be doing that. Also, we're going to be using magnets. I'll show you every piece as we go along. Some of it will be sped up. Some of it will be general time like this. But like I said, a lot of it will be sped up because I want to get this into like a semi-short video. But yeah, this again is a dedication to Demo. And we're going to sort of cap off the whole list of old fartists. Right, so let's get going, I guess. Let's swipe things over so I can get myself a little bit more prepared. So I'm more set up here, and again I've got a few extra bits that I know I'm going to need for this. As you can see here, or hopefully you can see, maybe if I can things like that. Let's give you a bit of a zoom in. As you can see, Darkwind, not sorry Darkwind, I did think it was Darkwind Duck. It's Gizmoduck. As you can see that he has a few different compartments or pieces to him. As he is built up of different bits, I wanted to make it all magnetic so it could come apart and go back together again, kind of like the suit does. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build the suit. So I build the core in this stage. Maybe do an arm, maybe and do the other arm. For the wheel part, I've actually come up, gone through my son's Lego pieces. Now I'm either going to use the front end of this here because I kind of like the. It's already got the pieces for the legs here to go into that one wheel because it's only got one wheel, as you can see down there. I wanted to sort of try and keep that one wheel because I did have this here and I thought, yeah, that would probably work. It's a nice big chunky wheel, but I thought that's a bit too chunky, and also it is attached in the middle there, and that's pretty much all I could find. I can even use the back wheel here for this motorbike. So yeah, that's why I'll sort of take that one apart and probably take that piece off, and or just generally use that. I'm not sure yet. Well, we'll see as we go along. But that's definitely the wheel I'm using, so let's put that one to the side. The clay here again is soft, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the core with the tin foil as I always do. Mold it up. Let's try and get the right size as well, because I think that roughly would be the right size and things like that. But I want to do is once I've put all of the clay around the tin foil here, I'm then going to be placing pieces of metal around that because I'm low on magnets, and I don't know if I'm going to have I wouldn't have enough to do the whole of things to have the arms and the body to have magnets in there. So I grab myself a tin can lid, and sort of I'm going to be cutting that one up with me pliers or bending it out. Be prepared that through this that these parts do get sharp. So if you're going to do this for yourself, be aware that you're gonna possibly cut yourself on those pieces. So definitely, so you can either sand them down or be very, very careful with what you're doing. I probably won't cut that. I mean, I probably won't sand that because it's going to be going into that, and once it's clayed covered, it won't be sharp anymore. But if you're young or if you're a new person at making things, be prepared that that's going to be sharp. If you haven't got a pair of pliers, you can use some sort of metal cutter, scissors, very similar to that piece in there, but that one's quite dull, so it doesn't really cut. But I'll show you how to break a piece off in a minute. So if you were using pliers, but yeah, we're going to be using the core, using some tin foil, as I always do for the core. One, it bulks out your body, makes it a lot lighter if you're going to be doing it, and you get to use your clay a little bit more sparingly for other projects. But yeah, they've got those magnets. You can get these ones on Amazon. Those are from an old project that an old project that I never got around to. If you remember me trying to make a Spider-Man, or fix a toy, and then ended up making my whole new Spider-Man to go with that. They're from there. But yeah, we'll quickly show you how to break off yourself a piece of this. Just going to grab it. Just going to grab it quite firmly, and then you're just going to bend like mad. Keep bending. Keep bending. I'm already feeling like I'm cutting myself there, so again, be careful with extra parts whatever. Keep bending, keep bending. You just keep going until it starts to feel warm. Once that starts to feel warm, it will break off. Like that. There we are. And you've got a whole new other piece that you can use for, like again, if you're going to be using magnets. Okay, again, it helps save on the magnets and helps just make things a little bit more sticky. Because what I did find, not sticky, magnetic. What I did find with these magnets is I kept kept checking which side they were on, and I kept completely mucking up the thing I was making. So yeah, this idea will help with that, because you're going to have that in there. Again, it's going to be in pieces like this. I'll have a piece there, I'll have a piece there, and I'll have a piece there. So let's get on and cover this, shape this out a little bit more, and cover it in clay. I'm going to speed all this bit up now, because otherwise it'd be quite boring for you. So yeah, let's speed everything up, and I'll tell you a little bit more what I'm going to do next. Okay, right. So I've got all the magnets in, put all the metal pieces in. Hopefully you could have followed that, followed along as I was going. This little wheel, I think, is looking pretty good. I haven't done all the details to the character. That is because I'm going to do that in the second part to this, because this is going to need a bake now. Now we've got all the main parts down, and I've covered up all of the metal pieces because they were quite sharp. So if you are going to be do this yourself, guys, be prepared that this is going to be fairly sharp on the edges, so if to cover it up, it's probably the safest thing for you to do. But yeah, I've covered all of that up, so all the metal pieces are in there. That will stick like that, so it's all magnetic. I'm not going to put them all on because it will ruin the pieces that I've already put there, but that wheel is put in. You saw me cut that one off there. Again, if you're going to be using knives, guys, be very, very careful, because I nearly did cut my thumb, but that's why I started using pliers in the end, because I thought, I'm going to cut my thumb, it's very fiddly. So I ended up cutting that one off and put that piece of clay. Again, I'm going to be putting some more clay over the top of that to do the design and the features that the mechanical looking pieces. But this does need a bake, and I'm going to be baking it at 110 Celsius. I'm probably going to turn that down a little bit because of the plastic pieces, and I'm not sure what's going to happen to those plastic pieces. Hopefully, I mean, because yeah, so I've got this already here, so I've got a spare just in case it does melt and the pieces don't fit back together. Hopefully that won't happen. So I'm gonna put it in a bit of a lower heat to bake everything. As long as you keep it at a fairly warm heat, it will bake. It just takes a little bit longer. So yeah, I'm going to put all of this now into the oven, get this baked, and I'll come back once it's baked. Okay, so it's later on in the daytime. It's had a bake and had to cool down. It's gone completely hard now, as you can see. It again got the magnets in there, and that'll make it all stick together. It's sticking together, or it's magneting together pretty well, I think. I tried out to see what size hands or arms it would have, and I think that's looking okay. Why am I shading it from the light? I think that's looking okay. It just needs a bit of paint, that one, I reckon. That one's done. I didn't show you on camera, but I'm going to make another one just to show you how I actually did how I did do that arm. The wheel, I had to take the wheel out because I was afraid that it was going to melt. It didn't melt or anything, but I had another idea after it had its first bake, because this is the original one, to take the wheels off, or take the piece off and sort of bend over with a bit of wire. It didn't work, as you can tell. It fell apart and it was too brittle, so I went back to the original because obviously I had a piece of that motorbike that I had left over. Gone back to the original ideas, and thought I'd connect him like that. But what we need to do now is put on the brace part to his chest plate, midriff, and a little bit around the bottom here for more mechanical bits, and obviously I'm going to make that arm. I'm going to do all that off camera, and don't forget we've got to do his head as well. That's going to be the tricky bit, but I want to do the shield first and then put the head on afterwards, because I still don't know how much space that head's going to take compared to where it's going to be. Sorry, placement of the shield. I've obviously had a faff around and see what kind of thickness I want, but yeah, hopefully you are liking the video so far. If you are, leave a like. But here's the next stage coming up now. Rightio. Okay, so all of that has been, all the details have been put on there now, and he is completely dry. Once again, it's hard and solid, so all those little extra little pieces won't fall off, and I won't have any issues with squashing them now, because that's always a big issue. Once you put little details on there, you've kind of got to bake it as soon as you do it, because if you put it down and they get, especially on the back, they'll start squashing. Or if you put it down the front, wherever you lay him down, it is convenient because he does come apart, as you can see. All the magnet pieces, they're all in there, and he'll take his head off. Did his head yesterday. We're now getting into the point where I can paint him. So let's pull up that reference once again. Put them all back together. There we are. Ooh. And that's how he looks all together. Hopefully you can see some of the details that I've put there. But you'll see him a lot more once it's been painted. I'm going to do the normal thing that I do. I will speed all of the painting up because it'll take me a while. But if you want a full detailed painting video, there is going to be one coming out soon. If not, it's already uploaded. So don't forget to go and check out all previous videos. But let's look at the reference of what we got from this. So I've got a bit of red, a lot of black around his arms, and a hell of a lot of white. So yeah, I've got to put his R on his front, on his chest there. For, I don't actually know why it's an R, because he's gizmoduck. But anyway, yeah, we're going to get all that painted on, put all that onto here, and make it look like it should. So let's speed everything up and get to painting. Paints that I'll be using is, once again, acrylic paint. Brand that I'll be using is that, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It is quite glossy, but you can get matte paints and stuff like that. So again, if you are interested in painting yourself, that's a good brand. You can find it on Amazon. And yeah, let's get everything sped up and get this looking like it should. Okay, right, so we've got everything painted. I've given it a little bit of hair dry. It's still cooling down at the moment, so while it is cooling down, I'll show you what where you can see through the bits. Where I had actually touched it, it didn't show up whilst it was wet, but now it's dried off a little bit. You can see all the little imperfections where I put that grey coat in. Yeah, I put that grey coat in for this particular reason, because if I did over this with white, I wouldn't have necessarily seen all of the imperfections of the white, because this still would have happened with the white. It's just I wouldn't have seen it because it was already white there. So yeah, I've gone and painted it all again. You can really see it on that hand there. But I'm going to give this a coat of white now, where it needs it, and then I'm going to put some more details on. So let's get that white coat down. Okay, so we've got a little bit more paint on there, a little bit of white like I said I was going to do. You can still see through that, but that is okay. That is in the way of getting a good white coat on there now. Again, it's because the paint's quite thin, I've watered it down a little bit so I can get a decent coating on there first. The grey does help because now that the paint doesn't need to set or soak in, sorry. But I've got most of the details done. Just got to add a little bit more white to most of it, and then I'll put in all the main little details to the actual thing. Like on his on his chest here, he's got a little TV, a little monitor, whatever, and buttons down the side. So I'm going to give those a different colour. But then I'm going to give everything a black wash to make it look better. But keep watching, and you'll see me do every step.